Well, hello, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield, and welcome to Stupid O'Clock. I'll be your Ed McMahon for this evening. Joe Dog had to step away from the camera at the last minute there. Everything is fine. We've got Joe and Bill and Josh here with us tonight, and Stephanie Osborne may be joining us as well. So let's just bring the guys on, and let's just see what kind of craziness we can get up to tonight.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Had a last minute
Oh, oh,
went crazy.
Bill sitting on the.
Uh,
I recognize that routine, Bill.
oh, the cat decided he wanted to fight as I was headed this way, and tried to slash my ankle open. Wow, I think we got a new record tonight, Dan.
I
Ooh.
know. I was just reaching for that one. That's one of the earliest. They must have followed us over here from Spectrum. So
all my records are old.
mm, I've got a few new ones. Hey, Donna.
Now, when I did that little bit with the book, I should have
Yep.
done it with this book.
No, you don't want to be throwing that around.
And
It might come back to haunt you.
I just got this on yesterday and Amazon Prime, and
I was about to ask, where did you purchase it?
off of Keisha Acuff's site there, and where is she? Oh, there she is. And there's the author right there, Keisha Acuff. Keisha, I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm going to either this weekend or first of next week. And when I do, I will give a review, which that's what every author wants. But until then, hey, buy this book. So
Yep.
there you go.
Yep. I was in the middle of reading a collection of Cthulhu Mythos stuff at work this week, so I will be really geared up for some spooky haunting sort of stuff by the time I get around to starting Keisha's book next week.
I was about halfway through Common Sense today. Adam Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was going to say Common Sense by Thomas Paine.
Well, that'd
be the first one I would think of.
Well, you got to take that one in small doses, otherwise you'll go to sleep. I mean, I had to cover that in several history classes over the years. And
is it Thomas Paine or is it Common? Is it Tom? Which one is it?
Both.
Okay. I was about to say, y'all got me confused now. I know this one I got is about this thick.
Yeah. The one you got's economics, and the other one is from the American Revolutionary period.
Yeah.
So.
And I think Joe Dog will be pleased because my drink of choice tonight is double cola from Chattanooga, bottled in Chattanooga.
Where's Double Cola plant in Chattanooga?
That's what it says here on the.
Well, you
turn up the lights here. Turn up the lights, as Carol Burnett would say.
You go up the mountain and you look down, you're bound to see it.
Yeah. Shoot. I got to get my cheaters on because I can't read that first part.
But while we're on
the I had a receipt that I had to read off and type into an email, and there was a confirmation number and tracking number, and I had to put on the magnifying glasses that I use when I'm sorting through my coin collection, so that I don't have to have a magnifying glass in one hand and a flashlight in the other. But these
my magnifying glass is in the other room.
That's going to be really handy. If I was still building models, this would be the thing that I would want when I was painting the little fiddly bits on something. because those suckers are stout.
Yeah, Joe, it says bottled under the authority of the Double Cola Company, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 37402, I think it is.
Okay, that's the offices downtown.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm looking to see if it says anywhere else, but that is the only thing it says.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the plant is here.
Well, I was about to say it says under the authority of. That don't mean it's
Yeah,
bottled in.
just because they've got the office downtown doesn't mean that the bottling plant's anywhere near Chattanooga. But it ought to be close by.
Yeah, it should be.
And no, I'm not being abducted by an alien. I just had to have the light a little brighter so I could read that. Good grief.
Dan,
Now I'm seeing spots.
while the quick question was on books, since I lost my 1984 Orwell book,
Yeah.
who was the original printer or publisher of that book?
I don't know. That was quite a while ago. It was
Has it been republished by?
it's never been out of print as far as I know.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I mean,
Yeah.
are all of them pretty much the same?
Pretty much.
Oh,
Yes, you saw that. Good.
yeah. Hey, Stephanie.
I'm here. Finally.
Yes.
Yes, we were discussing behind the scenes. Evidently, StreamYard didn't like Stephanie earlier tonight.
Yeah, I thought I was never going to get it to let me on. It just sat there and cranked and cranked.
Well, at least we got you here now.
Yep, I'm here now.
Where'd I put
And Josh had a similar problem with the live chat on the weather show that we just got done doing. Josh, Secker and Warburg are the publishers.
And I'm going to let you decide that one.
I'm not even going to flash it up on the screen. It is not beyond the pale for this time of night, but it is kind of inappropriate. So
That was
very.
the original publisher, Bill.
That was a hit and run, Dan. I'm going to take care of it.
Okay.
That was
What have I missed?
In the public chat.
1940, 47?
Actually, June 8th, 1949.
Okay.
That was his last novel. George Orwell's 46th birthday, too, was less than a month off. When the novel was published in London by Secker and Warburg, and 5 days afterwards by Harcourt Brace in New York. So there you go.
Well,
I didn't realize that he'd written Animal Farm before '84. I've never actually looked up the printing history. So.
Me either.
Paul Whitman says, "Good evening, folks. I'm here, so the box should follow soon." No, Carl, they did an end round. They've been here long before you got here.
Well, I know I was looking it up earlier, and they was like 15 different publishers, and I was like, which one's the right one?
Well, it's all the same book, no matter who's putting it out. Something that old, I mean.
Well, let's see. Now, I ordered the Federalist papers. It wasn't the complete Federalist.
Yeah. I can understand that too. Lord, it's been a while since. See, I think the last time I had to go through those was a history class in college, and the professor wanted to speed through everything up until Vietnam so he could wallow in Watergate. Is the way I'm going. Well, he was a military history teacher, though, and it wasn't a military history class, but he had been assigned to teach us, and he certainly had his unique points of view. Let me tell you, I never heard some of the stuff explained in quite that manner, but I managed to pass the class, so I didn't piss him off too badly.
It's always good not to piss off the professor until after the class.
Well, I kind of wait till after the grades have been posted before
Yeah.
I do any smart aleck remarks. So.
I was going to say the end of the semester.
Mm-hmm.
Surely a professor wouldn't hold a grudge.
I don't care what they hold as long as my grades are already in the computer.
Yeah.
We had a philosophy teacher. His idea of a quarterfinal for the class final was he walked in there and walked up to the blackboard and wrote "Why?" ? This was 50% of your grade to answer that question. Only person that got an A, they wrote "Why not?" Turned the paper in. Only person that got a B wrote "Because." Turned it in. Everybody else spent an hour trying to tie "why" into the rest of the class that we had been taught. And I'm just going, this has got to be a trick question. I came out of it with a very low B, but not as good as the guy that wrote "because."
Right. It would have been vulgar if it would have been that.
Yeah, well, this was the 70s, so you could get by with a lot of stuff.
Oh, let me find a story for Stephanie real quick.
Uh-oh.
Let's hope it's not copyrighted. Now we need the Twilight Zone music while he's hunting.
Well, I shared a meme in Uncle Carl's secret humor group that totally reminded me of Carl. And the meme said, the neighbor said hi to me the other day. Now I'm just going to have to move. And I thought that is totally so Carl Witzman.
Carl lived down here. I could see the neighbor's house being built on the horizon. I'm going to have to move.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Mustache temporary.
Okay, well, y'all keep talking. I'm trying to find it because there is a time traveler that has predicted a volcano to prove that he's a time traveler.
Okay.
Volcano.
Yeah, a world-changing volcano.
Well, that's going to either be Yellowstone or.
Oh, there's a lot more that it could be.
Yeah.
Did he have that?
We're just starting here.
Or did he have this one? Which
Oh,
I got to get batteries for this. This thing is like a weapon. It's got so many metal pieces in it. I mean, you could severely hurt somebody with that just from the weight of it. This is just cheap plastic, but it's also a writing pen.
find the story.
And
No wonder you always hurting.
and it extends up. So anyway,
You don't take that to the bank, do you?
I actually had. I'll show you one I had. I got it around here somewhere. It was my work pen for the longest time, and people kept wanting it. And I wouldn't, like, when somebody would say, "Can I borrow your pen?" I'd always have this junky one I'd give them, because here was my work pen. This is my lightsaber pen, and you twist it to see the point, And
Well, I can't find it.
this, I think, lit up at one time, but the batteries may be dead on that too. I'm gonna have to go out and spend about $1,000 on batteries for these things.
There's a nice looking pen.
No, you go to the Dollar Tree. They got them on card. You can get like 20 batteries for $1.
Oh, is that what it is?
Of course, then you got to go to Harbor Freight and spend $15 on a screwdriver to take the screw out.
Well, I got one of these, and then I got a mechanical
Might as well
set.
Is it Harbor Freight?
It was because of this figure right here and all of the things that it does. It lights up, and then there, and then it lights up that hand, and it lights up another hand. There you go there, and then the helmet lights up too. I had the tiniest screwdrivers and the tiniest little batteries that went in this SOB just to get them on there, and I don't ever want to have to replace them again. So needless to say, I don't have these on very much.
You don't have a screwdriver left either, do you?
Well, I got the screwdriver, but
star bit or
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan is incapacitated.
This is Pinky, and he's looking at me, so you'll only see the back of his head. But he did discover a mirror behind the door here a little while earlier this evening. He's just sitting there going, "That's a very quiet cat. Why don't you say something?" He asked to come in the house tonight, and he's normally outside. I don't particularly like it, but if they want to stay outside, they stay outside.
kitty.
Hey now, because I've got a cat over here too. It's just that he's on the back side of my laptop, curled up on my legs, and I just as soon he not claw the daylights out of me.
I got a weenie dog, so
We like it when Joe's kamikaze cats attack him when he's live on camera. You see the tail behind his head first, and then next thing you know, rawr.
I was about to say, Joe dog done been attacked once tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I was just walking down the hallway, and he just. It's not deep, but it's wet.
I had the weirdest thing happen this morning. Yeah, I have a tendency to tear up and start crying because my husband died about a month and a half ago, and I never know what's going to trigger me. So I took my glasses off this morning to wipe my eyes, and ever since he was a kitten, my cat Elrond had this thing about glasses. He did not like glasses. And when he was young, he would actually reach up and try to pull them off our face. My husband had glasses that he wore from time to time. He usually wore contacts, but sometimes he wore his glasses. And so this morning I took my glasses off, and Elrond swiped at them. And I jerked them out of his reach because I didn't want the lenses scratched. And I stuck them back on my face. And he attacked my hand. Like just pissed off. And I don't know why. I've had, evidently he's not the only cat to react like that to glasses. So there is that. And then also, evidently, there's a general feeling that he's grieving too. So he loved curling up with Daryl.
Yeah.
So, but it was just kind of weird. It was like, he went from purring to no, no, stop, and I don't know. And so I wound up putting him down, and 2 minutes later, he was back up, purring away, cuddling up with me.
Hmm.
That cat has a pretty face, Dan. That's a pretty
Yes.
cat.
Um, his name is Pinky. I may have said that already. Named
As,
after my childhood invisible friend.
Mm.
as opposed to Pinky and the Brain.
Exactly.
Okay.
Um, he is about 14,
Oh wow.
13 or 14. I lose track. Lindsay knows. Um, but evidently, when his mother gave birth to him, uh, left him on the kitchen uh, back door step, and got brought in the house with the ones that we had found before that. And I woke up one afternoon, and then after working night shift, and my wife goes, "Look, who's that in the floor?" And I go, "Oh, that's Pinky," and rolled over and went back to sleep. So he's been stuck with the name ever since. He's very gentle. He has very sharp claws. He doesn't mean to hurt you, but he can. It's always in the lower part of the menu list, you know.
I took a screenshot when you first had him on there, sent it to Laura. I told her, I said, we have more cats on this show than most.
Well, Lindsay asked me to keep him occupied for a few minutes while she goes and lets a couple of the others in on the front porch for the night. There's a feral who's a charcoal gray tabby. Oh, you almost can't see the stripes at all. He looks almost like a Maltese. His stripes are so subtle. And then there's Violet, one of Pinky's sisters, and she loves to stay outside, but she wants to come on the porch every night. So we've got some cat beds out there with litter box, food bowls, water bowls, everything. So the ones that want to come in on the porch are just fine. Pinky's the first one to actually uh, want to come back in the house after having spent several years outside. He didn't want to come in. He wouldn't even come on the porch for a couple of years. So I don't know. He's probably just feeling the chill.
Yeah,
Well,
I was going to say maybe they're sensing the upcoming weather.
Yeah.
Oh, if that were so, we'd have about 8 more, 10 more wanting to come in. So
well, I was gonna say we got two ferals down here that I've been trying to get to calm down. That they'll run. I feed them, but me and my neighbor feed them. One of them looks almost identical to that, and the other one is like a charcoal gray, but it's got more of a pronounced stripes on it.
hmm we've got several ferals that have come up out of the woods, and Lindsay has taken care of them for a while. What you want down? There you go. There you go.
But I
And see, most actual true feral cats are scared of humans. They won't come around to humans. So I'm thinking maybe it might have been a formal feral cat.
I don't know. What we think is we've got a neighbor lady that does not ever get their cats fixed, and they keep them shut up in the barn.
Oh,
And
okay.
whenever one of them manages to make its escape, here our cats over here outside and come up and see what the excitement is and maybe scrounge a little bit of food, come back for a week, month, maybe 2, and then might wind up back in the barn, or might wind up, one of them wound up with the neighbor on the other side of the house, and now he is a strictly indoor cat, but Lindsay got him much more used to approaching people and being petted and being fed regularly. So we're doing our part.
Mhm.
Well, see, I think the ones that's down here, I think they're afraid of dogs. We, everybody down here has hunting dogs or, everything like that.
Donna
Well,
says this is having a fur baby to snuggle with. Well, come on down. I can hook you up with one.
As Carl is cursing you under his breath right now.
not to mention Joe's wife Donna. It's her
Yeah.
cat. No, we have gone outside, and the three or four that stay outside the dog pen will be sitting there with their own little bowl of food, and there'll be a raccoon right there next to them, and then
Mhm.
they'll all five be eating and everything. The raccoon stand up on its hind legs and look around and go back. And I swear, we had one. I mean, I have great grandchildren smaller than this raccoon, so
Oh, wow.
we're talking nearly thigh high on his hind legs. I mean,
Sound like
obviously,
sound like some good
obviously,
eating.
Rocket Raccoon is not out of the run. I need to open the door. He wants to go back in the living room with Mama.
Sound like some
So, yeah.
chili.
I'll be back instantly, almost.
When we moved into this house, it's been 22 years ago. We were here about 6 months, and all of a sudden, we hear a dog scratching on the door. So we go open the door, and this Jack Russell mix shoots through the door, runs up through the house, hops up on the couch, looks around, yeah, and lays down on the couch. Nobody in the neighborhood has ever seen the dog before, but she just moved in. We ended up giving her away, but yeah, that dog just moved in.
That man, we had a basset hound 2 weeks ago. Ran through the neighborhood, no collar, anything.
Mm.
I hope it didn't get hit. I tried to catch it, call it. It'd stop, look, and run. Stop, look.
You need to put out some food for it or something. Try to get it that way, because they could even though an animal doesn't have a collar on, that doesn't mean that they're not owned by somebody, because they could be chipped.
Oh yeah. Well, I did.
They could have gotten out of their collar. My beagle used to do that all the time.
Yeah, I was about to say we put food out here in the yard. Put a bowl of food out here in the yard, but it hadn't been touched. Well,
Yeah.
I say that squirrels have been in it. But
Oh, Stephanie, you will love this. I thought he wanted to go out the door, so I left it to where he could walk through. He's over at a bookcase reading the titles on the floor shelf. And that's the engineering book. So,
Long as that's all he's doing.
no, he's already used the letterbox. So,
Hmm.
Lindsay's got that back here. Food and water are in the kitchen though, so that's probably why he wants out of the room. But he's
Joe?
he's over there just
I'm working
snuggling
on
up
it right now.
to the library books.
Wasn't sure if you had seen it or not.
Yep.
I didn't even see that one. Of course, I wasn't paying attention, but
Oh yeah.
There's
There
her.
we go.
oh,
That's Elrond half Siamese. That's my baby kitty.
Does he have blue eyes or?
He does. He does.
Oh, okay.
That's a beautiful little kitty.
He's a sweetie too. I mean, this morning's incident notwithstanding, what made it so astonishing is that he is a snuggle plunge normal. And I was kind of like, what happened? So But yeah, he likes to snuggle up against me just like in that picture, and he'll get right up against my side, and he'll cuddle up and he'll just purr. So
He's
right
a pretty,
now,
he's a pretty cat.
he is. He's a sweetie too. He's 15.
Wow.
Um, he's his mama was a feral, or at least a semi. It was a stray. I'll put it like that. A long-haired tortie, and she dropped a litter of kittens, and one of them was half Siamese, according to the markings, and that was Elrond. So, by the way, Dan, I like your background.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I actually took the photograph myself.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And Lindsay used to drive out there from, let's see, I don't believe it was Pie Town. It was somewhere around in there, very close by. And she'd get permission to climb up to one of the dishes and sunbathe there, have her own towel and have her swimsuit
wow.
in one of the radio dishes.
Okay.
Those things are huge.
Instead of having something around your neck, you just lay in one.
Yeah, really. And they're reflective white inside and out. So she
Let's
got a
see.
good tan.
Blonde hair, me. Blonde, blue, Dracula's daughter skin. I would fry in a heartbeat. So,
Well, I'm upset because Stephanie never said anything about my background. I mean,
Yeah.
I got Karen, I got Julie, I got Bert, I got Michael Landon. My God.
Yeah. Yes, but Dan changes his periodically, and you may not know that my background is professional astronomer.
Yeah.
And your background is real, Bill. That is your room.
I got Richard Petty over here, but it's out of camera range.
Got Richard Pryor on the video.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. I got
And
whoa.
and
Johnny on the
8-tracks
spot
and
there.
Yeah. I keep the mouse right there beside where the buttons are.
We're gonna have to start calling you Quick Draw. Hell, I didn't even see that one pop up before you had it shot down.
What did I miss?
Another Russian bot.
Oh,
Yep. In the public chat, they just pop up every few minutes, and Joe's getting to be Quick Draw McGraw here, so knocking.
yeah. I was going to say the Russians throw a silver dollar in the air, and Joe shoots a hole through the middle of it.
It'd be cheaper if you just use a washer. I mean, Jim.
Don't give away my secret.
Oh, Chris Kyle.
Yeah, Carl, I stomped him before you could reach for the mouse. I already had him shot down.
what did he say? Or should I
Well,
ask?
They're
Russian porn website.
they're just posting a 7-character shortcut link to.
Yeah.
Okay. Spamming.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I may have to switch my thing because it's coming through on my page. So I might just switch it to where the only way you can comment is if you're subscribed to my page.
Well, they'll just go to one of ours. Anyway, the structure of it is it's 3 letters, a period, and 3 more letters. Just random stuff, but it's all a shortcut link. So we tell people not to click on them, and then we try and stomp them flat just as soon as they show up.
Of course, Skunk was telling us, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about it because we like busting them.
And you like what it does to the algorithms.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
that's
they've got
all
the viewer-
positive.
they've got to view it, even if it is a bot. So we get credit for it, even if we kick them out.
Yep. Bring
And
on the bots.
I'm on it, Stephanie. Just give me just a second.
Well, tonight's cat night, apparently. So.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all right.
Do I need to go get my dog?
I'm just. That's this next one is all I'm going to pop up.
All cuddled up and sleepy.
Yeah, he's actually hugging my ankle.
Oh,
So I've got. I'm in the recliner with the footrest up, and he's on the footrest hugging my ankle, and he is sacked out.
Uh-huh.
I clicked that, and he never knew I did it.
Yeah, wait till he sees it. He's going to ask you if you got him to sign a release.
Yeah.
Well, I'm his legal guardian, so it's all right.
Yeah, he is underage. So.
Yeah.
My current Facebook avatar, I caught him blepping a couple weeks back, and I managed to get a good close in shot of him blepping. So it's basically his nose and his mouth with his tongue sticking out,
yeah.
and it is so cute. And so that is my entire avatar, and I managed to slap my glasses with my fingers.
Somebody's echoing.
Yeah, I think it's Josh because I muted him down and it. Yep.
Yeah, well.
Well, since everybody else has a cat, I figured I'd post my cat.
That's not a cat. That's a lump of lasagna.
Well, it's definitely made of lasagna.
Or at least stuffed with it.
Yeah.
And I got a dog too. Just for the record, I am a cat and a dog lover, and yes, I love guns as well, and that. So I'm a gun Second Amendment rights advocate. So, but anyway.
Oh, I've been watching the fellow retired Marine doing camping and survival type videos, but not prepper type. Just kind of, hey, if you find yourself in the woods and you've got this stuff here and you're going camping, here's a couple of things you can do to enhance your experience camping out overnight. So, I posted a reply to one of his videos, and he liked it quite a bit. It was about when I was in my 20s going camping down in Tallulah Gorge, and all the gear that we took down there, and a few times that I had to go by myself because everybody else backed out, and I'd already had the vacation time booked from work. So I had to do something, and I was single, so sitting at home was not one of the options.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
Let's see. Is that better?
yeah, I don't hear any echo. There's a vague roar from somewhere, but that could be anything. It's not loud. It's not unpleasant. It's just kind of sounds like when I am doing something and I forgot to turn down one of the channels on the mixing board or something.
I think Josh is about to be abducted by aliens here because I see him flying overhead, real bright light.
Well,
Oh, there goes a cow up in the one.
We got cows. Sorry.
There's a cow.
That's one of my favorite lines from that movie.
There's a cow. There's another one. No, I think
Another
that's the same one.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. There we go.
That is my avatar on Facebook.
Mm.
But that's how close up I was able to get to him. He was sacked out with his tongue hanging out. And I
Sorry to
got
hear
right
that,
up to
Carl.
him.
We used to go camping as well. Here's how extreme that my family was about camping. Dad would load up the truck. Mom would go to the store and load up a cooler, load up the pickup truck, get on a logging trail, and go out to the someplace on the shores of Norris Lake. And we'd set up the tent, have everything ready, and Dad would take the truck, go over to the boat dock, get the boat, and come through the lake right up to the campground where we were at. I mean, it wasn't really a campground; it was uh, just a patch on the shore. Somebody had a trot line across the cove right next to us, and we got to see them come out and go through the trot line, see what they'd caught overnight. Uh,
And that's where it all started, right there, Dad.
once where you ran out of milk for cereal. Yeah, I believe that's probably a life defining moment for Uncle Carl. Hey,
Hey,
Michaela.
Michaela, welcome to the show.
Beer and cereal just sounds nasty to me.
Yeah, it does. Why would you ruin a perfectly good beer?
Oh. And I think Michaela had something to do with this book too, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
I think Michaela
Michaela
pushed
was
her
the,
publishing.
the editor. Carl and Donna pushed her, uh, uh, Keisha, and she had the manuscript laying there, not doing anything. And Michaela took over the editing duties for it and taught Keisha a lot more about writing while they were the two of them tag teaming the manuscript. All right, yeah, yeah. That's the least energetic method of fishing is to run a trot line across the cove. Basically, if you don't know what that is, and some people might not, you put a bunch of floats like empty milk jugs and whatnot with the lid screwed on them across a nylon line, something like that, with fish hooks dangling down uh, 4 to 6 feet, uh, spaced regularly along it. And the next day you go back and check to see how many fish you caught overnight.
Yep. Very illegal in the state of Illinois.
It's
Yeah,
it
they don't
very,
they
it
don't
varies.
like trout lines around here.
It varies
Uh,
from state to state.
yeah, same way with net fishing as well. And I've seen a lot of people do that.
We used to get our minnows for bait by walking up, wading the creek with a fish net, a little bitty one, and just scooping them up, putting them in the bait bucket, and keeping the water in the bait bucket, and then making sure that that was the same water that they went to the lake in the bait bucket with. And then,
And she says it's only illegal in the river.
ah,
Yeah.
so on in lakes, as this occasion I described was, it's perfectly fine. But this is a TVA lake. Norris Dam has got this huge body of water backed up behind it, and it's this was 1960s, so it wasn't uh, it wasn't illegal at the time. Matter of fact, I don't think anybody even thought to complain about it. So used to go fishing every weekend, just about. My dad, his uncle, and I. Sometimes one or two of my cousins in a little bitty boat. Wasn't a big thing. And Dad always complained that as soon as I caught a fish, I wanted to go home. I caught one. We can go home now.
Well, growing up, my friends that lived behind us, they had a farm down in Ringgold, Georgia, which is just across the state line. It's actually between the state line and Dalton.
Mhm.
And they had a farm that had farm ponds. And they kept it stocked, but somehow snapping turtles got in there.
Oh,
I bet they walked.
And long story short, twice a year, late spring and early fall, we'd go camp at the farm and do a trot line and have a turtle smashing and then turtle soup.
Turtle Mull. Yep.
Yeah, that's all they would do is they'd go spend a weekend up there pulling the snapping turtles off the trot line.
I had a snapping turtle get a hold of a stringer of catfish before, and I mean to tell you, they rip right into them. We had 6 or 7 catfish on this stringer that took us about 3 hours to get, and they had totally mutilated all but maybe 1 or 2.
And you never knew they were there.
Yep.
Oh no, you didn't see it move. And so from that point on, we always kept them in the metal baskets, and then we would put those on the stringer and put them in the water. And they couldn't get to them very easily. They could nip at them. That's
Good
about
evening,
it.
Nick. Yeah, that happened to us at Marion County Park. We'd been fishing all day, had a good line of. Came dinner time, we went to pull the stringer out, and it was a stringer of fish heads.
Yep.
Looked like we got fish head soup tonight.
Weirdest thing I ever saw. It was not during one of our fishing trips. It was down here. I believe I might have been 16, 17 years old. Went to a park. There was a creek running into a lake there, and it was pretty swiftly moving. A little creek, about 8 feet across, maybe 1.5 feet deep, and there was alligator gar just hanging there in the water, absolutely not going forward, not going backwards, just kind of floating up and down a little bit. And there's about 15 or 20 of them. Might have been the biggest one might have been about 4 foot long from snout to tail, and the smallest were about the size of my hand, basically. So I don't know. I guess they were just catching minnows and whatnot that were coming downstream. But
And it was only how deep?
about 2 foot.
Okay.
It didn't look like it was big enough for that many of them. It really didn't.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Especially
Yeah.
one that long.
Yeah. So I figure they at night they kind of drift on back down to the lake, and then during the day they'd come back up the stream because it wasn't much of a hill, but they didn't have to fight. The only thing they had to fight was when the stream was pushing up, and it wasn't bad. I wasn't about to put my hand in there and check, but it didn't look like it was that rapid a water flow. Those things, I swear, yeah, I believe those are living dinosaurs. Yeah.
Well, what about the sturgeons?
Yeah.
Quite similar fish as far as I know.
Yeah, the Tennessee Aquarium now is starting to release. I think they release 20 sturgeons a year back into the Tennessee River.
All right. Somebody gonna have some caviar.
Yeah.
Move on south.
There used to be a couple old boys that come over to Homer Lake. And Homer Lake is a man-made lake that's been there since 1969, but they've stocked it. And these guys would go up, and I never could figure out why all these people would stand around and watch them. I mean, these two brothers had their own audience. There would be at least 4 or 5 people standing there. And at first I thought they were just friends of theirs, but actually they were standing around watching them fish. And they were right down by the end of the boat ramp. And all they put on their hook was like green giant niblet corn. They'd line the whole hook with that.
Yep.
Get in there. They would pull out these monster just talk about Neanderthal or dinosaur looking carp, and not to catch or to eat or anything like that, just for sport. And then they would throw them back. Couple times they'd get one and they'd weigh it or take pictures or whatever, and then they'd throw it back in and let somebody else catch it. That's all they wanted to do. And I said, don't you ever catch any fish to eat? And he said, we don't like fish. We just like to fish.
Yeah, and carp are they don't taste horrible, but they don't taste really good either.
Well, part of that depends on how you prepare it, but most people don't like to eat carp because it's a pain in the butt to cut the mud vein out. And
yeah.
I mean, it's a goldfish. What do you expect?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can make carp nuggets out of it or something, I suppose. But
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen any alligators in the river up your way?
We've had a couple. They think that they were probably picked up in Florida.
What's happening is they're coming up the 10 Tom.
Oh,
Well, there's reports not infrequently around here. The Tennessee Tom Bigby waterway connects the Tennessee River with the Tom Bigby, and the Tom Bigby runs into eventually the waters wind up in Mobile Bay, if memory serves.
Yeah.
So,
we got plenty of them in the Black Warrior.
yeah. So
now, Stephanie, I'll tell you, back when I was a Civil War reenactor, we would go down to Selma, Alabama. Every 2 years, they'd have a reenactment down there. And it's a wonderful reenactment. You have a tour of the Confederate Cemetery on a Sunday morning. Saturday evening, you're at this big Georgian mansion in the middle of the historic district. They have a big cotillion out on the back lawn. But the reenactment in itself is fairly small, but you're right there on the Tennessee River. You're a stone's throw away from the bridge that MLK marched across.
that's not the Tennessee River. That's way south of here.
Oh, okay. What river is that?
I don't know. Let me see what I can find out.
I pulled up. I've always had the impression that was Tennessee River. Somebody made a comment about the Alabama song, the Alabama song of the same name.
well, what I'm worried about is in what they call the flying carp.
It's the Alabama River.
Oh, it's Alabama River. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, the whole reason for the story was about almost 20 years ago, I almost got up close and personal with alligator down there.
Oh, yeah.
Did not even know we went. We got done with a skirmish on Friday, and or no, I guess it was the battle on Saturday because it would have been during daylight. And before we knew that there were actual modern showers, probably about an eighth of a mile away, we thought we're just going to grab our bar of soap and go in the river and clean up.
Uh-oh.
And we saw an old boy over on this peninsula across the other side. He was fishing for a while, and then all of a sudden he got up and he lit out. And we thought, why did he leave? He'd go in another spot. And well, he left awful quick. And we got up out of the river, and a lot of the local Selma girls are saying, you boys from up north are crazy for going into that river and out. And we're like, hey, and this reenactment would be late April. So, but it was 80 some degrees down there then. And so it's like the Wabash River up by us doesn't warm up enough to go swimming in it until August. And then we found out about the alligators.
Yep. The Alabama runs into the Mobile, and the Mobile empties into Mobile Bay. So yeah, they're going to be gators.
So that's where I've screwed up. I'm thinking Alabama's song and not the name of the group being the name of the river.
Black Warrior runs into the Tom Bigby.
Yeah.
Which is just about 15 miles south of me. So.
Well, we've got a golf course that some of the guys at work play at up here that has an alligator in one of the water traps. I'm going, they really took that water trap thing seriously, didn't they?
Well, I was about to say, there's a golf course about 10 miles north of me. In that lake, there's probably 5 gators in it.
Well, I mean, we're due east of Atlanta, so you would think maybe it'd be a little bit chilly for them around here, but evidently not. They get enough sunlight to heat themselves up.
Well, they'll find a place to go to warm up.
Oh, yeah. Catch them at the bar having a martini or something.
Yeah, Ace says he's tried alligator before. It is pretty good.
It's great.
I love
like alligator.
Yeah, I love alligator.
Fried gator tail. Oh.
I was actually thinking about getting some for HallowCon this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's some $high meat.
Mm-hmm.
I love you guys, but hell no.
There's
a little pricey.
Might as well buy T-bone.
Might as well buy a bison.
Yeah.
There's one of the maintenance men at work was telling me that the grocery store he shops at here in Athens, they have and have had for a while pork and alligator mixed link sausage, and these big old banger sausages, not the little bitty breakfast links. And they could not sell them. They couldn't figure out why. And they go, because it's got alligator on the label. Nobody is wanting to buy this stuff. So the price has gone down from like $7 for a 1 pound packet to about $2.
I'm sitting here. I just did a search. 5 pound bag of alligator tail nuggets, $120.
Holy moly!
Mm-hmm.
And Michaela, if you hit an alligator with a baseball bat, you're just gonna make them mad.
No, she talking about the flying carp.
Oh, the flying carp. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know now. Have you met Michaela? She hits anything with a baseball bat, it's going to notice.
Yeah.
Briefly. I wouldn't want to make it mad.
What the heck is a flying carp?
That's the ones that jump up out of the water.
Yeah, as you go by in the boat, they freak out and jump out of the water.
Okay, I've seen video.
That's the ones that are killing like all the fish up in the Great Lakes.
Yeah, and taking out boaters too. You don't water ski in a lake with flying carp.
Hadn't they gotten into the Mississippi already?
Yeah, they're coming down the Mississippi now.
Will they actually like whap the skier down?
Yeah.
Well, it's about a 10-pound fish jumping up out of the water, hitting you in the face on the water skis.
Yeah. Up in the Great Lakes, up by Chicago, that's the Chinese carp up there that they had the problem with, and it's doing all kinds of echo damage, and they literally put up wire fencing in the waterways and that to try to keep them out. and which mostly it does, but not all.
Yeah, as long as they reproducing, they're gonna get out somewhere.
Yep.
Now-
Haven't seen a chain link fence yet that could keep a fish egg out of.
No.
Yeah, Kayla says they've killed people by flying out of the water and knocking them out of the boats.
Oh, yeah. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were talking about the alligator. My cousin came up for a family reunion. He says, I brought y'all something good. We said, what is it? He says, let me finish cooking it up. And he was skinning it as he was cooking it. We said, what is that? He goes, alligator. I said, it looks fresh. He says, it better be fresh. I killed it in the backyard this morning.
Yep.
That's how you got to get it.
Yeah.
I've smoked an alligator tail one time.
I bet it was hard to roll.
Even harder to get lit.
No,
Stephanie,
you got to get lit first.
Stephanie, I forgot to warn you. You be very careful about timing your drinks on this show.
Yep.
Yeah, Josh will tell you about that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or Dan and the Bloody Marys that make them go to sleep.
Well,
it don't take Bloody Marys. All it takes is sitting in a chair.
And me and the caffeinated Sprecher's root beer, which I'm not buying now.
Bill.
what I just knocked off was a Tennessee Mule.
No.
Oh.
Make it just like a Moscow Mule. Substitute Jack Daniels.
There you go.
It tastes pretty darn good.
Well, I'm drinking this Jim here. So.
A Kentucky Mule is pretty doggone good too.
Yep.
You can make a Kentucky Mule there.
There you go.
So, of course, the ginger beer kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it ain't the carbonation, it's the ginger.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't take ginger beer anymore. I used to like sarsaparilla back in the day and ginger ale, but
Mary Ann keeps taking it away from ginger, so she don't get to have it.
Yeah. Hey, you got ginger's beer.
Ace Bonnie says, I'm having a cherry Pepsi.
That works. I just can't have the caffeine.
Yeah. Stephanie, you're going to like what I'm about to tell you.
Oh, dear.
My granddaughter came to me yesterday. She says, Papa, I want you to look at something. I said, what? And she says, I've got a class where I've got to write a 10 or 12 page story.
Okay.
And she says, I really like this.
Oh.
So I read it, and the story's got potential, but it's just.
Should have went to Uncle Dan with this.
Yeah.
How old is she?
Lord, no.
14.
She'll learn.
Yep.
Yeah. And she's wanting to go to Conjuration next year.
Yeah.
All right.
She found out that, you mean there's a convention that's all about Harry Potter? Yeah, people dress up like all the characters and all that. And she goes, no way. I want to go.
I'm one of the regulars and have been for some years now.
Yeah.
That they originally called wanting Daryl for his magic performances.
Yeah.
And he negotiated a table in the dealer's room for me to sell books. And then after that, I started going, well, you know what? y'all got me down here and I do conventions. Why don't you stick me on some panels and stuff? And it kind of grew from there. And I talked to them, and they want me back, even though Daryl is not going to be, Daryl's gone. So,
Well, they did do a touching tribute to him on the website.
oh, did they? Okay, I need
Yes.
to go look.
I imagine that has been a very widespread thing.
Yeah.
As many places as Daryl worked in different conventions and everything. I would not be a bit surprised.
So, yeah, slowly but surely, I'm pulling her to the con side. And she actually wants to meet you because she read that the children's young adult
Uh huh.
book that you wrote, and she
Uh-huh.
really likes that.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So yeah, the only problem about us going to Conjuration next year is that's the week after HallowCon.
I was about to ask, when is HallowCon this year?
28th through the 30th.
All right, we're doing a spam cook-off.
You are.
Spam, eggs, and spam.
Spam chili.
You go right ahead.
Joss is going to have his famous spam alligator.
From what I've heard, spam is a delicacy in Hawaii.
It is.
They like it.
I mean, it really is.
It goes
Tiffany, are you
well with
okay?
pineapple.
Huh?
Are you okay, hon?
Let me get off here for a few minutes.
Okay, hon.
All right.
I think she saw the tribute.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Yep.
No.
Yep. That would do it.
Yeah.
And
the couple that runs Conjuration is a great bunch. I think you know them, Dan.
yeah.
Secondier,
Sounds really
Chris and Angela Secondier. He's been a vendor at all the Atlanta conventions.
good. Yep.
Go away. I don't want you around here.
I saw that one.
Gone.
Yeah. Now they're pretending to be Arabs. Like.
Go away unless you have oil for us.
Yeah. Well.
I'm about to set it up to where only people that are subscribed can comment to the channel.
Like in the group.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll
I'll have
eliminate
to have to let my cousin know then, because I know she often likes to come in, which I'm surprised I hadn't seen her tonight in here, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how we got ours set up. Just group chat. I mean, people that's in our group.
Well, see, they're coming in through YouTube, so
Yeah. And there's another one. Oh well, that's not 3 letters, a period, and 3 letters. Now that I've told everybody what the pattern is, they're changing the pattern.
that one almost looked Native American, but I couldn't figure it out though.
I don't know.
It's still using acrylic alphabet for the names.
I don't know if I dropped my beef stick. I don't know if I've talked to y'all since we started that new concept, whiskey weather.
I've been through plenty of weather that made me want to drink a whiskey, but I don't.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like last man standing, but earlier.
It would have to be.
Well, I mean, we do it as long as there's not, bad storms going on or anything like that. Bill was a part of it Tuesday. And,
Yeah, I think. whatever day that was.
Well,
Tuesday.
Bill,
We do it on Tuesday and Thursdays, but not the whiskey weather. But I mean, we still do our regular forecast and everything like that. But
Yeah.
we get a lot of good feedback on that because people get drugged down by hearing crap about the weather. And
Yep. My wife is really worried about possibility of snow here this weekend. I'm going, honey. It either will or it won't.
oh yeah,
We've got
Well,
everything we need in case the power goes out for a week.
that high keeps going through that high pressure system, and that you guys might get the brunt of it more than anybody.
I don't know. We're
well, now
not
if that
that
high,
high in elevation. I mean, we're like I said, due east of Atlanta by about 90
well, I was
miles.
about to say, if that high pressure pushes more to the west, it'll push it west of him. But if
and
it
if
stays where it's at, it's gonna he's gonna be right in it.
Well,
Dan's in that area of the country, if that football stadium size meteor hits the Atlantic Ocean, we'll just wave at him. Hopefully, he'll have his ark built by then.
Well,
I won't need an ark. I'll just have to, get my sand shovel and my little bucket and go out in the front yard because I'll have beachfront property. I am on top of a hill. So, for this area, it's a pretty big hill.
depending on how big it is, it ain't big enough. Depending on how big the meteor is.
Well,
That's why I'm happy of the side of the Smokies that I'm on.
Well, if you're talking about something that's Chicxulub sized,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's history.
No,
We're history.
I'm talking about maybe Giant Stadium hitting in the ocean.
That's
I've
still
said
not
it.
going to be any picnic.
Yeah.
no,
If it hits toward Africa, we'll be good.
I don't know. That's going to be one hell of a tidal wave.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mega tsunami.
Yep.
Never mind what it might do to say, oh shoot, what's that volcano in the Canary Islands?
Oh,
Oh no, that one I never knew the name of that one.
Oh,
knew
it's not Vesuvius. It's not Vesuvius.
No, that's
Italy. Yes. Oh shit.
I'm looking it up. Hang on. I'll
Yep.
get it.
Now, Stephanie and Bill could actually help me on this one. I've heard that when the Scottish came over to the Americas, that they could almost speak Cherokee because the Cherokee was so much like the Scottish language.
I don't know about Cherokee. I don't see. I've looked at Gaelic and I've looked at Cherokee. I've studied Cherokee.
Gaelic.
The Gaelic, yeah. I was going to say the syllabi on Cherokee is quite different from anything else. And are you talking about the La Palma volcano?
Yes,
yes. Okay, I just pulled that up too.
Because if the impact were to cause the fault on the La Palma to go, then you've got a mega landslide generating yet another mega tsunami.
And Dan, I've told you this before, but I'm going to reiterate what I say. This time, when you have getting all the animals on the ark, get both of the unicorns, not just one.
Oh, and here I've got 72 different sexes of mosquitoes.
Oh, by the way, is this the Stephanie y'all wanted me to talk to?
Yes, this is
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Stephanie.
Miss Space Weather Girl. Meet Mr. Earthly Weather Guy. So
Are you from Huntsville? Are you?
I am
Okay. I mean, I see
not
Rocket Mama.
originally, but I live here now. So
Okay, I see Rocket Mama. So I mean, I
yep,
was like,
that me. So yeah, I well, in the last couple of months, I haven't done a good job of it, but normally I try to keep up with space weather pretty closely. So,
well, hey, you'd be a great addition to our group. I mean, you can come check it out if you don't
okay.
like us.
What group is that, Josh?
United,
God, I got to
United.
tell him everything.
I got food in my mouth, Bill.
Yeah, yeah.
United.
Donna's saying Josh has his beef stick. Don't say it, Donna. Don't say it, Donna.
Mm,
This
Don,
isn't the green room,
I'll say it
as far
tomorrow,
as we
Donna.
know.
It's United Weather Network on Facebook.
Okay.
Um, and if you want to shoot me a friend request on Facebook, you can. Also,
All right. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm friends with both of you, so you can find it. Either one of you can find the other one through mine. But yeah, they have a Facebook group. They do live shows when need to be because of little
break,
winter
breaking
weather
weather.
events and stuff that's coming up this weekend. But then the whiskey weather that they're
We,
talking about is more laid back when nothing is going on.
well, we do 2 podcasts a week, Tuesday and
Mm.
Thursday at 6:15 and 6:30, and then if we need to break in, we'll break in for stuff.
I've been hanging out with them the last couple of times, and they were going across the models tonight of what should
Oh,
be happening
now
overnight.
they're coming. Now they're coming. That's
Yeah,
Oh,
two.
yeah.
Huh?
but yeah, we uh, we have meteorologists on here and a lot of spotters, chasers, and everything like that.
I'm a National Weather Service certified storm spotter. So,
Okay, yeah, well, that's great. I am too. Skywarn. Well, there's my stuff right there. But
all right. I have sent you a friend request,
okay,
and I'm in the process of joining the group now.
Far out. And they try to do weather from all over because we got people in the group from all over,
Mm-hmm.
not just Midwest or South or East Coast.
man. I mean, the biggest thing we like is everybody to, we like everybody to be involved. So,
Well, I'm kind of
it don't matter if it's a picture from outside your window or anything like that. I mean,
I'm a little bit kind of not participating even in the groups that I started right now just because
Hey,
I'm
Brandon.
I'm kind of snowed, you know.
Yep.
that's fine.
Yeah.
So like okay, so Daryl died on December 1st. The week between Christmas and New Year's, somebody broke into the mailbox house for our subdivision.
Hmm.
With that damaged, the post office will no longer deliver
Deliver.
until it gets repaired. And there was this big hullabaloo about was it the homeowners association's responsibility or was it the post office's responsibility? Because it was on the post office's side that they broke in. So we've been without delivery service ever since.
Wow.
So in order to get our mail, we have to go all the way over to the post office, which is probably a good 5 miles from here. And they weren't sorting our mail, as it turns out. They just
Hmm.
had this big pile of the mail that was to go to the subdivision, and you'd go to get your mail, and you'd tell them your address, and they'd go look, and they'd come back with 2 or 3 pieces of mail for you,
And they'd
and
have more.
and so finally last night and today they evidently sorted all the mail, and I went to pick up my mail, having just went yesterday and only gotten like 2 pieces yesterday.
Oh boy.
Today I came home with a grocery bag full of mail. I
Mm.
had catalogs, I had packages, I had bills. I mean, I scrambled earlier this evening, because I had bills that were past due that I was only just now getting,
Wow.
and most of them were either past due or almost past due. So I scrambled paying bills earlier this evening, and that's just kind of the way everything has been. Um, the guy that was supposed to be handling the stuff with HR at the company he worked for back before Christmas abruptly went on leave, and he hasn't come back, and he never finished filing any of the stuff he was supposed to have filed for me. And so, here it is over a month and a half later. I don't have his pen. They're not delivering his pension to me. I haven't seen anything about the life insurance. It's like everything just kind of fell through, and we're having to start all over again, as if he just died yesterday. Meanwhile, the storage unit people absolutely will not let me even get to the storage units, because I haven't proved to their satisfaction that I am his heir. And it's like I've proved to the state of Alabama's satisfaction, but not to theirs. So
Excuse me, you were married. All you got to do is give them a death certificate. Why should you have to prove anything else? You
They're
were
that
not
married.
accepting
that
that.
was they wouldn't even take the death certificate at this point. It was insufficient. They gave it
Well,
back to me. I've
I,
contacted the lawyer.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I hate to say this, but I smell a couple lawsuits. One against the HOA, one against your
No, the HOA,
local post office.
the guy at the HOA, he's doing everything he knows to do. He's been helping me. He's a good guy.
But how long have you been without mail, though?
Yeah, but that's not his fault. The post office is refusing to deliver.
Well, then it's against them. Then
Yeah.
that's unacceptable.
Oh, I agree. But I mean, you can. It's the federal government. Anyway, theoretically, they got it fixed today, and they're supposed to resume standard mail service tomorrow. But in the meantime, I played all kinds of games trying to get all the bills paid today.
Mhm.
We'll
So,
all send you a postcard and see how long it takes for you to get it.
oh honey,
Well,
of course, given all of the estate issues and stuff, I've curtailed most of my spending. But for some years, I've collected southwestern style jewelry,
Mhm.
and I ordered one item from a vendor in Arizona, and I'm in Alabama, right? So you'd think Arizona to Alabama is via Honolulu.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Via Honolulu. Went from Arizona to Honolulu to Memphis to Birmingham to Huntsville to me. Yeah, I was just kind of like, what?
Somebody obviously failed their geography classes in school.
Badly,
Yeah.
badly.
I got one that'll drive you crazy. FedEx.
No,
We have
don't get me started on that.
we have an Amazon fulfillment site
I got one.
eight
Well, we got
eight,
one investment.
8 miles from my house. I ordered something online and they give you the tracking. It went from the Amazon fulfillment center to Memphis. It went from Memphis to Atlanta. Went from Atlanta to Nashville, over to Knoxville, and
And
back
back
down.
down. Yeah.
I've got stuff around here, and it never fails. But what it has to go through, it when it's a straight
Birmingham.
shot, and yet it has to detour through at least Atlanta first.
Well, see, my mail in I'm from Tuscaloosa, by the way. Um, see, if I mail anything, like if I was mailing something to, say, my neighbor or somebody a mile down from down the road, it has to go to Birmingham first,
Thank you.
and then it comes back to them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Valiant Thor.
Yep, I recognize the name too.
Oh, so you know who this is?
No, I don't know who this is, but I recognize where they pulled the
Oh,
name from.
the location. All right.
No,
And
I
so,
recognize the Valiant Thor is a. So
okay, and just random channel surfing. Thank you. We appreciate it. We're called Stupid O'clock. We sit here for about 2 hours talking about everything.
But yes, Stephanie, if check the channel, check our group out, and
I
if you
will.
want to be a part of it,
Now
post post anything you want.
I do
If you have time,
the space weather stuff.
yeah, that's
So
fine.
I
That's
keep up
fine.
with solar flares
Yeah,
and auroras and solar wind and all that kind of stuff. So
that's great because I know as a amateur meteorologist, because I didn't finish school, I know that affects the weather,
In
the
lots of
actual
different
weather
ways.
patterns and everything else here. So
so
especially severe weather. So
yeah.
Now, imagine this: when Les's solar sail goes up, he's going to want to listen to both of y'all.
Yep.
the what?
Les
We've got
Johnson is a friend of mine. He and I went to graduate school together. He works for NASA, and his main project is solar sails, and he's got one about to go up. So, yeah, Dan is right. He's going to want to talk to both of us. So,
yep.
We'll have to get. Well, we'll get
Yep,
you.
he's going to need Josh's recommendations about how to get it up out of the air, and Stephanie's recommendations about how to catch a breeze once you get out of the
yep,
atmosphere.
yep.
We'll have to get you on one of our podcasts one night.
I can do that. I can
Oh,
do that.
And
I've done this sort of thing. I've done so many interviews in the last 15 years.
Well,
Stephanie can vamp on just about any
I
subject she
got
knows anything about, and she knows a little bit about a lot of subjects.
something Stephanie just said. Sort of, I found.
well, there
What?
was a solar storm this coming up Saturday. Saturday, I believe it. Ain't it?
Um,
There was something
we got a
hit us.
coronal hole.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
there
Corona.
was something
Yeah,
hit us a few weeks ago.
no, it's this Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday, yeah, there goes my snowstorm. Going to melt
No,
before it hits the ground.
no, actually, it could increase the snow
Yeah,
intensity.
I know I'm being facetious, but
I believe it's this Saturday.
Um,
I don't.
yeah,
I think.
we got a coronal hole coming into geoeffective position, and probably this it enhances the solar wind, and that solar wind stream from the coronal hole will likely hit Earth this weekend. So yes, expect a minor geomagnetic storm. Um, high latitudes, if they're clear, could probably get some auroras. Let's see.
And what about the space station? What do they do in those situations?
Space
Right.
station, they've got certain areas that they can take shelter in if it gets past a certain level
I
of,
got
of
another
radiation.
question. Another question about the space
Okay,
station.
let me finish answering Joe's
Oh, I'm sorry.
question. Um, I can tell you that they take up film for the various cameras in canisters, in metal canisters.
Yeah.
And I know that just the standard radiation that they get is sufficient that after about 2 months, they got to trash the film, whether they've used it or not.
Hmm.
After about 1 month, it starts degrading. After about 2 months, it's in pretty bad shape, and 3 months is pretty much useless.
It's the same
So
principle as the badge that Dad used to have to wear at Oak
it is.
Ridge.
It's pretty much the exact same thing because those badges are basically a piece of film inside a metal container. So yeah, but that kind of gives you an idea of how much radiation they're getting on an everyday basis up there. All right, Josh, what you got?
The Chinese the Chinese. They're building a space station, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
You know,
When is the U.S. government going to ever build a space station solely, or are we going to keep that what 40-year-old space station up there?
eh, it's much cheaper if a bunch of countries cooperate.
Yeah.
Honey, do you know
Well, that thing
what
is
a kludge they made of it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I do.
I mean, I'm
Uh,
just, yeah, this bunch of parts put together.
no, no, this is not politically intended. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much, President Clinton. You really screwed that one up. So,
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't care who you talk about. This
It's one,
well,
it's
space
one of those
side.
situations where duct tape don't even work sometimes.
pretty much, yeah. That you cannot. The electricity is not uniform from module to module, so you can't. It's not a uniform. You can plug it in anywhere. Yeah, it's not universal. Um, the data is not universal. If you want this module to talk to that module, you have to use what's called sneakernet. Um, and it's to the point where
It's just
we wound
obsolete.
up. Most people don't realize we paid most of the other countries for
To,
their modules.
yep.
They didn't volunteer it. Okay, and some of them, Russia, we paid several times over. And there are some officials with some very nice dockas on the coast that got built as a result of ISS. And most people also don't know that we were instructed when I was working the program. Um, the Russians call it theirs,
Yeah.
and we were instructed not to contradict them.
And what do you think about? What was it? I think it was a couple. Was it last year? And when the ISS, or what do they call their modules that goes up there to drop off?
The Progress modules, the Russian modules, or the
Yeah,
SpaceX
the Russian modules that had the holes
Progress.
in it. That had
Yeah,
the holes in it. Did they ever figure out what was causing that?
Russian construction. Uh, no, they were claiming somebody sabotaged something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know that.
All right. I'll be
Russian
back in just a
construction.
few minutes. Got to take care of something.
All
Okay,
right.
Russian construction. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
who in their right mind, living on a space station, would drill a hole in the side of it, knowing full well the whole thing's connected together. And even if you've got close the blast doors,
Well,
uh,
well, who in their right mind, the U.S. government, would be paying millions and millions of dollars to put one astronaut into on that rocket to put into space?
well,
You know what? Those of us who are into space exploration would do it in a heartbeat.
oh
Well,
Lord, yeah.
true, but
Hey, if I had the money, I'd buy my own damn ticket.
that's just subsidizing Russia's.
Yeah,
This is getting
but
into
but
more
when
political stuff, but I
when
know.
yet another president is stupid enough to retire the extant functional spacecraft
Yes,
before there is a replacement ready.
yes, that was the dumbest thing I've
That
ever
that
seen.
was that was purely political, though, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes,
It
And
was.
it's one of the reasons I hate politics, and
Yeah.
there's is that politics exists, but
Um.
can't
Yeah.
live without it.
I despise politics. I try not to get involved in political debate if I can help it. That is not to say that I don't have very strong opinions about it. That is not.
Unfortunately, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, some people think that because I don't do politics, that I'm apolitical or that I don't keep up with it. They're flatly wrong. I do. I have very strong opinions. I simply choose, for the sake of my mental health and the fact that I already have high blood pressure, not to get into political debate about it and raise that blood pressure further. Simple as that.
I can understand that.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't have high blood pressure, and I don't want it either. But
Stop drinking
because,
them double caffeinated colas, then.
man, I'm telling you, I don't know what the caffeine was on the double cola, but I noticed it had a high calorie count. But it's cane sugar, so
The other week
that's
when you had that
When you had your
jolt
whiskey
with extra
root
caffeine
beer,
or whatever it was, I could swear you'd had something that was highly illegal because you were bouncing off the walls.
he done had some speed.
no, yeah, speed kills.
Uh,
My before they
okay,
start before they
I just got a 20-minute warning for Last Man Standing starting.
oh okay. It
Did
is that
did
time, isn't it?
Now you're welcome to join.
Hey, I want to cover one other subject that it's kind of a this day in history, which I seem to be the ones doing that all the time now. But since Stephanie and Josh are both in there, do you know what happened 43 years ago today?
What year is this?
1979.
79?
Yeah.
January 13th.
I turned 22.
That was the last time we landed on the moon, I believe.
Blizzard of 79 hit.
Oh,
this,
I was in Atlanta for that one. Yeah.
This was
I thought you were
the
talking about.
storm. It changed the political history when it hit Chicago. And I mean to tell you, well, like I said, deepest snow ever was recorded, I think there 40 years ago.
Is that the one that killed like 300 and something people?
I don't know on that one. It was already a snowy winter. And then, of course, when it began to snow on 12th of January, and then it did not stop for a long time. The blizzard in northern Illinois and northwest Indiana, 39 hours straight it snowed. So for over 2 days, the blizzard dropped over 20 inches of snow on the region. O'Hare was closed for 42 hours, and Chicago was just totally immobilized for a whole week.
Bless you.
A friend of mine posted a picture of him stuck out on Lakeshore Drive in his car and snow up to the doors from it. And it's just incredible, absolutely incredible. But 29 inches, record 29 inches was on the ground by January 14th. So
1993, I had 13 inches here in Tuscaloosa.
1993, I had 4 feet in my back porch.
Well, 89 inches in 79. But
4 feet in Huntsville, Alabama. 4 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do believe I remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been the year that I invented round table risk. No. I actually I went out and got a sheet of plywood sized piece of mat board, quarter-inch thick mat board, and sat down with a couple of boxes of risk pieces and whatnot, and some maps, and drew a map of the entire world, including Australia and all the oceans, and made a risk board out of it that is about 4 feet in diameter. And I made up rules where not only did you have armies, but you had navies, and it was fun. I was with some friends that they had gotten to the point where they would shove 2 normal risk boards together and play like you had twice the planet to play with on one plate. So I went them one better. I just made it so you could go anywhere and do anything under normal risk rules. And I've still got the board down in the barn. I thought seriously back in the day about getting in touch with Milton Bradley and saying, "Look, I've got this thing. I mean, it's obviously built off of your intellectual property, but
It's an expansion kit.
I would be willing to
Yeah.
negotiate for a small fee for you to have this if you thought it was something you could sell." But I never got around to it because life went on, and that group of people that were playing Risk kind of drifted away when most of them graduated from college, and I had already been long graduated, so it's amazing what your mind will get up to when you're bored in the middle of a blizzard.
Yeah.
The most I remember about the blizzard is 79, and I was here. I was actually out at my grandmother's in Fithian, Illinois, which is 500 plus populated farming community with nothing but flat cornfields all around you. And they could not get in or out of Fithian to plow people out. And we had a few people on snowmobiles going from house to house doing wellness checks, and then going and getting groceries for them at the local grocery store if they needed it. Not having a pharmacy nearby, we couldn't get anything but over-the-counter medicines that the grocery store would have. But and of course, we had 3 days with no power. So we survived on oil lamps. I had a GE AM/FM transistor radio to catch all the weather and what's going on. And then my grandmother had a gas-powered stove and oven, which we kept the oven door open to keep a small limited part of her house heated, which she had a small house to begin with, but it was the old house with the asbestos siding. I can't remember what they called it back then. Dan, you might know.
No, I do not know. I know of it. I don't know what it was popularly called.
Hardy board?
No, I know the name if I'd hear it, but it looked like a flat, almost big, wide shingled siding. But I know it was made of asbestos. And
I bet they advertised it as being fireproof on the outside of your house. Just don't ever break any.
No, thing about it is when if you got asbestos insulation in the walls or whatever, as long as you got that membrane there, it's no big deal.
Yeah, as long as that membrane never decays or gets pierced in any way, like driving.
Right, and then everything becomes airborne.
Yeah, that we had all kinds of trouble with that. I remember the asbestos insulation on the heating pipes and whatnot in the schools I was in from the 60s on up. 79. I do believe that was the year that I went to my very first convention, which was Atlanta Comic Con. And we had a great Friday. Everything was wonderful. I mean, the convention was just great. And we went off to, the group I was with went off to a friend's apartment, not very far from the hotel. We didn't have to have hotel rooms. We got up the next day and Atlanta was frozen solid. The convention had been canceled. The people were trapped. The people that were in the hotel were trapped in the hotel. And my mother telephoned the apartment of my friends that I was staying at going, "Hey, the people you work for just called and want you to come in to work." And I'm going, "I'm 90 miles away. I'm not driving through a blizzard to get there. I'm on vacation too."
So my friend Laura posted this picture last year. She lived in Des Plaines, Illinois that year in 79. And that's her and her friend on top of a big drift. She was telling me that she had the snow went all the way up to the top of the lampposts.
May I interrupt?
Oh.
Here I am playing John tonight, even though I don't have Mr. Google's skills.
I didn't even see that.
That's because you don't have a fast enough connection.
I guess.
Your ISP.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I see it. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah, it's well, it can be the ISP, but with me, it was the computer I was using wasn't fast enough. So these things, they happen. Anyway, I've already got everything lined up to get Last Man Standing started up here in 10 minutes. Well, 9 minutes. And,
all right.
Let me get back to
I just heard from John. The reason he wasn't here tonight is he's doing setup.
Oh, for this weekend?
Yep. And Dan, you know how to set up shows. Go ahead and do that Saturday.
I do. Basically, I'll click on send this to everything that it possibly can till it runs out of links for.
Hey,
and then Facebook will tag you for it.
I've done mine how to do that. Oh.
And make sure Stephanie gets a link.
Joe, are you going to be at Chattacon?
Yeah, I'll be at Chattacon.
Will you do me a favor and tell people hi for me?
I will. I'd already planned on doing it, even if you didn't tell me to tell them say hi.
Yep.
I was planning on being there. We were both planning on being there, and it's just too soon.
I
I
understand.
can't.
Yep. And don't worry about it at all. It took me over a year when I was walking in your shoes before I managed to decide it was time for me to um, start paying attention to the world again. So
I'm trying really hard. It's just
the Russians are really hitting us tonight here.
Yeah. One, two, three,
4 in just seconds.
Hmm.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
good grief.
Hope we can work together.
12, 13. We got a record tonight. 15.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan or Joe, can you pull that picture up I put in on the main chat? I didn't. I, this was
Do
my
it.
house. This was my house I was in uh, April 27th, 2011 in Tuscaloosa.
Where I don't see it.
It
So
was on the Stupid O'Clocks
oh,
messenger.
oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I have it. Just a second.
Oh my.
Oh, what was?
It was a house.
Oh,
The emphasis on the past tense.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
If you see
Kindling.
that, if you see that washer right there, that's where me and my now wife was at. If you go down them steps right there, that was a hallway, like on the back side. That was where my grandmother and my aunt and cousin was, and all three of them got hurt. Me and my cousin didn't have a scratch on us.
Hmm.
Don't know how.
Miracles do happen,
Yes, they do.
and it don't matter whether you believe in them or not.
Oh, yeah. Hey, after that, that was a horrible day for state of Alabama. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
I watched an EF5 go to the north of the house, and I think it was about an EF3 go to the south of the house.
No, I was about to say, yeah, you up at Halkelberg and
Yeah.
yeah.
This last one here a few months ago that came by, I'm only just now that the leaves are falling, seeing the amount of devastation in my next door neighbor's yard. I
Mm.
mean, they're
Well,
talking 150 yards away from where I'm sitting right now.
I've told
It
y'all.
kind of split and went around my house.
I've
But
told y'all. I've told y'all before. I got a check stub back from Georgia that they sent me, all the way back to Tuscaloosa. That's how strong that storm was. That's how much uplift that storm had.
Hmm.
mhm.
But Stephanie, I hope we can work together and we'll talk later.
I look
I mean,
forward
like
to
I
it.
said, whatever you want to post about any kind of space stuff, it
Okay.
don't matter what you want to post, sweet. I don't care.
Okay.
Post it.
I will have some fun with it. I'll
Do it.
Well,
provide
also
all the information.
geology falls under meteorology, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The earthquakes and
Yeah.
stuff, or
Yeah.
seismology.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. New Madrid fault. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Let's get rocking
And
and rolling.
If if that
and
sucker lets go, I've seen a bad day, and I'm not even close to it. So,
and since I posted a picture of Laura and her friend during the blizzard of '79, that this is me during the blizzard of '79, safe inside, warm, no snow in sight. But yes, I was stuck at my grandmother's house.
My
for
dad.
the whole time.
Speaking of that
I
'93 story,
got to say, I would not have imagined you with that hairstyle.
Oh yeah, my David Cassidy hair. Yeah.
Now, I have had mine down to the middle of my back before, but no. Just I have gotten to know you
And
later in your life, so
now,
that was not an image that I would have.
Dan, I don't know if you can see that, but that belt buckle is actually a Beatles belt buckle. They used to make these little shiny, iridescent type looking belt buckles of all the different rock groups. That's what I did.
Josh is about to lose it over here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to hold that one till tomorrow.
We got
Yeah, I won't be there.
15 seconds. Joe, you want to go ahead and hit the
Yep.
high flight?
Yeah. And I'm going to close it out like I always do. Let's say goodnight, everybody.
Good,
Good night,
hey, good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Via con Dios.
Hey, Stephanie, nice to meet you tonight.
Likewise.
Good night.
Good night.
I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.